Hey guys, it's Shania here, also known as Nizzy, and welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I last came and spoke to you guys. I had filmed a podcast, edited a podcast, but somehow, well, I do know, it's not somehow. I took so long to edit it that by the time I was like ready to post it, it felt very outdated to me, and I just overall wasn't very happy with the footage that I got. So I decided that I would just re-record it. Well, life happened and I ended up moving. So I'm in a new space now, and I also now have a new job. So it was a lot of transition for me, and now I think that I'm finally at a point where I can come and talk to you guys more consistently. And yeah, that's that. Again, I'm sorry for posting like one video and dipping. Like I posted a video and then that was it. And so I'm happy to be back. I'm thankful to everyone who watched that video, who liked that video, subscribed because of that video, follow me on my Instagram because of that video. Thank you guys so much, and for anyone who has found themselves here today to watch my video. So I say all that to say that it is another knitting podcast, episode numero dos, and I do have a lot of things to show you guys. Some of the projects that I showed you guys in episode 1 that were whips or things like that, a lot of it has been finished. Some of it I'm not going to show just because it is a lot and I just really don't feel like digging all of this out, and then also it would be a really big podcast, so I'm just going to show you guys a lot of the projects that I think would be good to show, and things that I just genuinely want to talk about and share with you guys. So yeah, I have my laptop here with some notes. So if you see me looking down, that's why, or you see the peeking up, that is why. But yeah, I don't even really want to talk too much. I just want to go ahead and get right into the video because, like I said, I do have a lot of things to show you guys. So, where to begin? I guess, obviously, the first kind of standard thing would be finished objects, which I do have a lot of. So, what I'm actually going to do is put that to the side, and so that I can have my hands free, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the projects. So the very first thing that I have is the zipper sweater man, and if you guys watched last podcast, and you would have saw that it was basically completed. I just never installed the zipper on it, and I'm happy to say that I have finally installed the zipper on this baby, and I'm going to be honest with you, I have worn this every single day since I completed it. Yeah, I've worn it every single day. I finished this last week. I think maybe last weekend I sewed in the zipper on it. I'm not 100% sure. And this is the little Petiteknit zipper, by the way. So pretty. I think I was very intimidated with sewing on the zipper, and I did sew it by hand, by the way, and it's not perfect. It's a little wonky in some places sometimes, but I feel like overall it came out really good. And yeah, I finished this back in July of this year, and I just now got around to doing the zipper. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. That is an airplane going by. But yeah, so I finished it in July. I finally have the zipper on, and I've been wearing it nonstop. I'm gonna put it on real quick to show you guys. And honestly, the zipper wasn't that bad. I really hyped myself up on it. I really hyped myself up on it, and it really. Sorry, I don't want to dress, so this comes. This is like my hip, my waist right here, so it comes down pretty far. It comes down pretty far. Sorry. You guys are gonna hear my wheels rolling a lot this episode. But yeah, I feel like it's good. And yeah, I am so happy with this. I'm so happy with how this came out. It is so soft, it's warm, and I want to make another one. I don't know when I'll make another one, but I definitely want to make another one. Also, one great thing about this, as you guys can see, you can kind of see my my dress underneath this, and I think on the back too. Like I can show you guys. I have some like holes where I did my increases, and I still haven't mastered, I guess, obviously because there's holes. I haven't really mastered the M1L, M1R, because, or at least I feel like I haven't mastered it. Obviously I know how to do them, but for some reason I always get like bigger holes. Now granted, I did make this back in July of this year, and I'll show you in more recent projects the holes aren't as big or prominent, but there are still like little tiny gaps where you can see my increases. So if anyone has any tips on how to avoid that, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's the Zipper Sweater Man by Petiteknit, by the way. And so that's the Zipper Sweater Man, and let me give you guys all the information. Let me give you guys all the information on it. So for this Zipper Sweater Man, I did a size large, and I used Drops Nepal in the color Gray Mix. And this is my first time using Drops Nepal, and I'm completely in love with it. I think I told you guys that before. I love Drops yarn, but yeah, Drops Nepal is definitely great. And this is what I have left of the Drops Nepal. And it is 55% wool, 55% wool, 35% alpaca. So yeah, alpaca is like my favorite. So anything with alpaca in it, sign me up. But yeah, it is in the color dark gray mixed, or on the label it says 0506. So yeah, that is a Drops Nepal, and yeah, I did make some modifications to the Zipper Sweater Man. I didn't do an Italian bind off. At the time, I didn't know how to do an Italian bind off, and I was very intimidated to learn as a new knitter, or as a beginner knitter. So I just bound off just regular bind off. I have since learned how to do an Italian bind off, but I don't feel like it looks bad. I like the way it looks, and I really don't think that you can really tell a difference. No one's looking at my bind off and yeah, it lays pretty flat, so it's fine. And also, in the pattern, the collar, she wanted to knit an extra, like, I didn't write the exact amount of inches, but there was a couple more inches of the collar length that she wanted me to knit, and I ended up shortening it because I felt like it would just be too long for my neck. And a little bit of foreshadowing, I really wish that I would have done the same for a current project that I'm working on from Petiteknit, because I finished the collar and I'm realizing that it is way too long, but I'll talk about that when I get to that project. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the zipper sweater man. I'm really happy with it, and I am excited. Are you gonna focus on me? And I'm excited to wear it this entire cold season. So that is my zipper sweater man. My second project that I have finished, I'm gonna put that back. The second project is my Everyday Henley by KnitsByAutumn, and I just finished this last week as well. The test knit was due. The pattern is out now. I'll make sure to put all the information down below about this. And I ended up knitting the size large, and I'm going to put it on really quickly. So yeah, this is the Everyday Henley by KnitsByAutumn. Like I said, I did test knit it, and I had such a good time test knitting this. I remember she put out the test call for it, and I mean, she didn't even do the test call. I think that was when she first started teasing this, and she said, sorry, I hope that chair rolling does not annoy you guys. But I remember she was like, what color can y'all see this in? And I saw that she had used a drops yarn, which I was really, really happy about. And it was drops Nepal, by the way. And I had already had experience with the zipper sweater man, and I knew that I loved drops Nepal. So I got really excited about this. And so I went to the drops website. I went to Wool Warehouse and looked at drops. And I was looking at all their colors, and like goldenrod hit me like a truck. I was like, that would be such a pretty color, you know? And so I started kind of thinking about like what I could see like for the buttons, because I didn't want to do like plain buttons. And I was thinking, at first I was thinking maybe like a flower, like a daisy or a sunflower or something. And then it hit me again like a pile of bricks, bees. Because I have been obsessed with bees this summer. And so that became the start of my Honeybee Henley. That's what I've been calling it, even though the official title is the Everyday Henley. I've been calling it my Honeybee Henley. So if you guys hear me say Honeybee Henley, I'm talking about this, but that's not the name of the pattern. That's just what I call mine. So let me actually get close for you guys so you guys can see. And first off, let me see if I can zoom in on my buttons. Oh, I can. Okay, boom. Do you guys see these buttons? Like, oh, she's twisted. But yeah, so these are my buttons. And they're little bees. And I am so incredibly happy. Sorry, let me fix my camera. I am so, am I crooked? Okay, cool. Yes. So I am so incredibly happy with how this came out. And I did have a couple of issues with this. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you would have saw that I originally picked up the stitches for my button band and my collar, and I really hated the way it looked. I'm still working on learning how to properly pick up stitches for like the collar and things like that. So I feel like my collars never really, they never really like sit very straight and pretty. I feel like they're always a little bit wonky. And then I had never done a button band before, so I hadn't even had experience doing a button band. And so once I got done, it just was like very, very wonky. And also my buttons wouldn't stay in the buttonholes, which was no fault to the pattern. It was me. My buttons are actually smaller than what are called for. And I low-key do wish that they were bigger because I feel like they would, it would look a little bit better if they were bigger, but I still love my buttons. I still love the way it came out. But yeah, so it just like, it was very like wonky. The button band was not very straight on like the edges, and then the buttons wouldn't even stay in the buttonholes. And then I also had done my button band upside down, so it looked really wonky. And I'm not really like a huge frogger. I never was a person to just like frog work. But because it was a test knit, and also I've been watching also known as Nora Knits, aka Nora Knits, and I have watched her frog and laugh and just enjoy her knits, but also really love her finished products. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, I need to enjoy my process, and I need to make pieces that I really, really love and like I really, really want to wear. So I made the executive decision to rip out the button band and the collar. And I really wish I had saved pictures. Or actually, maybe I do have pictures in my phone. But essentially what happened was I went to unpick my like collar, and I ended up unpicking the actual knit itself. And by the time I had like realized, because I was doing it while I was watching a YouTube video, like I was watching it and I was like unraveling, I had unraveled like a patch of the sweater. Sorry. As you guys can see, my button band still isn't like the like straightest or like the most perfect, but I still feel like it's really cute. And yeah. But anyway, so I don't know if you guys can see here, but I'm having like there's like some tension issues here, and like right here is a little bit different. So what I ended up having to do, because I had frogged all of this, which was part of the knit and not the button band or the collar, what I had to do was put in the lifeline and pick up stitches all the way around, like all the way around. And then I basically had to work the pattern backwards and do decreases until I got back to the original stitch count that was called for in the pattern, like when we cast it on. And then we do the collar and the button band. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it does sit a little bit weird right where I picked up stitches. But overall it did come out really, really nicely, and I really like the pattern. I think I told you guys everything on this, but yeah, so this is the Everyday Henley. I love the sleeve, I love the twisted rib, and yeah, I just feel like I like that the sleeves hit me like just I don't know if you guys can hear my belly, but it hits right at the wrist length. I don't know, is that called bracelet length? I'm not sure with the garment names and lengths and what they're called and all that, but I'm really happy with how the sleeve is, and I like that when I like lift my arm that the sleeve comes down, because like when I wear my watch and things like that, I like to be able to like see it and not have to like keep pushing my sleeve up or down. So that is really, really nice. And yeah, like I said, I used Drops Nepal and Goldenrod for this, and this is in the color 2923 if you don't have a color name. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off now. I feel like this project really tested my willingness to grow as a knitter, and I think that I rose to the challenge. And yeah, I feel really good about being able to come back from a major setback. It wasn't even a major setback, to come back from something that I thought was a major setback and realize that like it's really not that hard and it's really not that big of a deal, you know? So that is my everyday Henley by KnitsByAutumn. Hopefully I gave you guys enough information on that. And now the next thing that I'll get into, I guess, is my bucket of things. I have a bucket down here that I used to block my knits that I have all of my finished objects in. So I'm just gonna go down here and start picking up things. So the newest thing that you guys may have seen on my Instagram if you follow me, or not if you don't, is that I have been knitting socks. I would officially consider myself a sock knitter, and these are my first official pair of finished socks. And yeah, these are what they look like. They're a little bit gross because they actually need to be washed. Like I wore these so much like the first 2 weeks after I made them, and I actually haven't worn them in a while because they don't stink, but they like, I don't know, they need to be cleaned. They need to be cleaned, okay? I've been wearing them, they need to be cleaned. But this is the colorway. And I don't know what oh actually I do. That's a lie. I thought that I didn't have the tag. I use the Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed Alpaca in the color Blizzard Frost. This is the tag for it. I bought this from Hobby Lobby about a year and a half ago. I don't know if they still sell it or if they sell it online or anything, but it is, the color name is Blizzard Frost, or the color number is 3, and it is 100% baby alpaca. And yeah, I knit them. I actually believe that I knit these on 2 16-inch circulars, and I basically did like the magic loop without the magic loop method. And as you guys can see, they did come out good, but I do have, I don't know if you guys can see this, I do have ladders going down the side. And it's only on one side on each sock, which is really weird. I don't know, maybe my tension was better on one side than the other, but I have ladders going down one entire side on these socks. And yeah, but I still love them, I still wear them. I will continue to wear them after I wash them, but I had a great time knitting these, and these are just vanilla socks. And when I say vanilla socks, I want to say this so that for all my other future projects, when I say vanilla socks, I just mean like a sock that is plain, that has nothing special done to it, no lace, no color work, no whatever. It's just a vanilla sock. I actually use the SOS Basic sock. Let me verify. Yes. So the SOS Basic sock, which is a free pattern by Summer Lee. That's the pattern that I just used because it was free, but I think that it's pretty similar to like the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern, or you know, everyone else that makes vanilla socks. Vanilla socks are very, very straightforward and plain. And for this one, I did do a size medium. A size medium. And yeah, those are these socks. And that kind of solidified me into becoming a sock knitter, or like moving forward and actually wanting to make more socks. So after that pair of socks came y'all, why am I editing right now? And I zoomed in on my head because I was like, is that a bald spot in my head? Y'all, it was a piece of yarn fluff that sat there pretty much the entire video. So if you guys also thought that was a bald spot, no worries, it's just yarn. And yeah, I don't know why it did not move as many things that I pulled over my head in this video, but yeah, just a piece of yarn. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna show you these ones. Came these socks right here, and these are some like calf high type socks, which I really, really like. And these are also vanilla socks, just standard. And so one of these socks I made using the one sock I made using the like two 16-inch circulars, using like the non-magic loop method. I don't even know what it's called. And I do have like ladders in these ones too. What I say, you can see my ladders. And then on this one, I actually did the entire leg with that method, and then I actually went and bought the ChildGoo 9-inch circulars off of Amazon. So I ended up doing the heel flap, gusset, and then the rest of the foot and the toe on the 9-inch circulars. So this sock isn't 100% like the same. They're a little bit different, just because like gauge and tension was a little bit off, but they both fit great. And I have worn these and they are nice. And I just want to show you guys that before I was just doing regular ribbing for my cuffs, but then I saw Copy Cali and Handmade with K, I believe. They were talking about using twisted rib, if I'm not mistaken. This was like a while ago, by the way. And I don't really have like months or dates of like when these were created, because they have been in between the last podcast and this podcast. So I don't really know the exact time and dates when I started it or where these resources are from. But yeah, I saw somebody somewhere talk about like a twisted rib cuff, and I just love the way that looks. Like, look how stretchy that is. It looks so pretty. So yeah, and again, I just used the same like vanilla pattern. Once I made that first pair, I really didn't need the pattern again to make this pair, and you know, I just customized it how I wanted it. Like, I made it 100 row leg for this, and so yeah, there's that. As far as the yarn that I use for this, it's a little bit ripped, so sorry, but this is the same yarn bee, hand dyed. I think this is called the hand dyed tonal, and the color Lavender Dusk. It also says the color number is 03, so I don't know, but the name of it is Lavender Dusk, and this is 100% superwash merino. And again, I bought this about a year and a half ago from Hobby Lobby, so I don't know, in store by the way, not online, so I don't know if they still sell it. I don't know what it is. And I bought all of these on sale too. It's $14.99, but believe I got all of these games for 30% off, because they run a sale every other week. So yeah, that is that. So the next finished object that we have is another pair of socks, and these are also just vanilla socks. And these are actually the very first pair of socks that I completed fully on the 9-inch circular needle. And I stuck true to the purple one, and I did do the twisted ribbing, which I think I'm going to be doing for all my socks moving forward. Oh, I didn't mention this, but all of my socks have heel flap and gusset for the heel, by the way. But yeah, I just did a pair of gray socks, and I love them so much. They are already starting to show a little bit signs of wear. I think this one you can see a little bit better. You see that? Like right there at the toe. Right here too on this foot. So that's a little bit disappointing because I've worn these probably like 3 or 4 times and they're already showing wear on them, but I also think that it could just be because of the material that I make them out of. I actually don't have the tag for them, but it's the same Yarn Bee authentic hand dyed, but in the color Iron Soot. Iron Soot, S-O-O-T, isn't it soot? Iron Soot? I don't know, but and it's also 100% superwash merino. Let me see, whichever one the lavender dusk is. Yes, so it's 100% superwash merino wool. So it has like no nylon or anything in there. It's just 100% wool socks. So they are really comfy and they are really sturdy, but they do kind of start to wear away a little bit. So maybe in the future I would maybe not go for 100% superwashed merino like sock and try to find something like a standard sock yarn with like some nylon or whatever that will keep the help hold a little bit of integrity in my stitches. So those are those socks, and that completes all of my finished socks, which is pretty cool so far. I'm at 3, and it's funny because when I first decided to learn how to knit socks, I had told myself, like, if I could end off the year with 1 pair of socks, that would be great to learn how to knit, and here I am with 3. So that feels really good to have. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on moving right on along with that. So my next finished object is this hat right here, and it is so pretty and so soft. It looks really big, but it's just so thick and warm, and I haven't really been able to wear it. Really, I haven't gone out anywhere, but also it hasn't been like too cold for me to wear a hat, but the weather is coming and I am excited. I've never been a hat person. I actually don't own any hats. This is my first hat that I own, and I'm gonna look a little bit funny because I have a bun in the back of my head, but yeah, here's my hat. And I like that I can tuck my ears in, because we always like try to cover up our heads, but we forget about our ears. Like my ears get really cold. But yeah, this is just a purple hat, and this is actually a Musselburgh. I know that there's a whole debate about how to say it. I say a Musselburgh, so that's how I'm going to say it. But yeah, so for my Musselburgh, I didn't do the standard Musselburgh like design. I didn't do it to pattern, I guess I should say. I started off with, how many stitches to cast on, and I did do my increases to pattern, and then I just knit to the length that I wanted, and then I did, of course, I don't know if you guys can see because of all the fluff, but I did do twisted ribbing on this. I love twisted rib. Yeah, I've been doing twisted rib on all my socks. I was lucky that twisted rib came on the Everyday Henley. I did the twisted rib on the hat brim. I just like the definition that it gives. Like, it really gives like ribbing, you know, like it really pops. So yeah, I did twisted rib for that. And yeah, once I got to the length I wanted, I just did my ribbing. I know that the Musselburgh usually has you knit like one continuous tube and then do your decreases and then turn it inside out. So it's like a double layer thing. But this was already so thick that I didn't see the need for me to double it, and also I didn't even have the yarn to be able to double it. So with all that in mind, I went ahead and just did it to how long I thought would be good for my head, and I did ribbing and bound off. And I did do an Italian bind off for this. I learned the Italian bind off I don't remember which project I learned the Italian bind off for, but ever since then, that is my preferred bind off. So I do Italian bind off on pretty much everything. So yeah, I did Italian bind off for that. Sorry y'all, I have a lizard that likes to live in my windowsill. It just comes in and out the house, and he just jumped, like suicide jumped from the top of the windowsill, like on the window plane, to the windowsill, and like he made a thud. I'm like, are you okay? I don't know. So yeah, there's not really much to say about this Musselburgh other than I really like it and it came out pretty nice. And now that I've made one, like a chunky boy, because I did make one other Musselburgh for Musselburgh. See, look at me switching. I don't know, how do you say it? I don't know. But yeah, I did make one Musselburgh for my grandma last year for Christmas. That was where I bought the pattern, and I did it in fingering weight yarn, which is nice, but I just can't see myself sitting down and knitting a fingering weight project for someone else, you know, who may not take care of it, or like, you know, it's gonna be a hat, so it's gonna get abused. So it's nice to know that I can use the Musselburgh hat and make a chunky hat like this. So this has opened up me to potentially make some hats for people, but again, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that is that. As far as the yarn goes, I actually used 2 different yarns for this. This is what I have left of the first yarn, and then this is what I have left of the second one that I held together. And the colors are so close that they really did make a beautiful, beautiful purple. I feel like sometimes when you're holding 2 strands together, one color is more dominant, especially like a fluffy yarn like this. But I feel like because the colors are so close and so similar, that I got the exact color that like what you see is what you get. And I'm really happy that these colors are coming up pretty true to color on camera, which is really, really nice. And, oh, sorry, this yarn is going everywhere. So this yarn right here is the Barocco Vintage in the color 5114. And this is 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% nylon. And yeah, I just bought this from my local yarn store back in early summer. And yeah, That's what this kind of like main thicker strand was, is the Barocco vintage. And then Chestnut. And then this little fluff monster is actually Drops Melody. I actually don't. This is not the right tag. This is a Drops Air tag. I grabbed the wrong thing. But this is Drops Melody. And give me 1 second. Let me get that color name for you guys. Okay, so it's Drops Melody in the color Sweet Orchid. Yes, Sweet Orchid. And so, yeah, I really like the fabric that it came out. I think the Drops Melody is like, it's like wool, alpaca, and polyamide. And you know, I love alpaca, so it just really gave that softness. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it went really good with the Barocco vintage, and it made a really nice fabric, and it made a really soft fabric. So overall, I'm really happy with how that came out. And yeah, that is pretty much it for that one. My next finished object is actually a Sophie scarf. And I actually used the exact same yarn, the Barocco vintage, but I didn't hold it with the Melody. So this is just the Barocco vintage by itself. And actually, if I can like show you guys just to compare the colors. Like I said, like the colors are very similar. So this is with the Melody and this is without the Melody. Like I said, I really feel like those colors like just were so spot on together. It's crazy. But yeah, everybody, you know, and their mama, when the Sophie scarf came out and a couple months after it, you know, they made the Sophie scarf. Everyone had these Sophie croissants, right? And I wanted one for my own, but I also knew that I wasn't like a scarf person. Like I don't really wear scarves, although I don't know. It's given like ascot, you know, like I would assume that this is what Fred from Scooby-Doo wears around his neck, you know, because I don't know. And like it's cute though. It's giving I'm about to get on an airplane and travel to like France or Paris. It's really luxury, but to be honest, I don't really wear scarves like that. So my original plan for it was to knit it and then wear it as like a little headscarf. But quickly I realized that this is actually like pretty big. So I am not going to be wearing it like that either. So I actually don't know what I'm going to be doing with this Sophie scarf just yet. And I did do the smallest size, by the way. I think she has 2 sizes in the pattern. I did the smallest one. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this yet. I am planning on making another Sophie scarf, and I'm thinking of adapting the pattern because the way that Petiteknit wrote her pattern, you can use it for your scrap, so you can weigh out your however many grams you have left, divide it by 2, work it all the way till you get to the halfway point, and then work the other side and do your decreases. So it's a really nice stash busting project. So because of that, I'm thinking that I can just do my increases until I feel like it's a good width for the headband that I want to wear it as, and then do my decreases. So I'll be making another one of these, but I I just don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Although, you know, it's a new season. I feel like it is really, it would be really cute to wear, you know, both my hat and my scarf together at some point. So, you know, I don't know if I'll find a way. Maybe I'll just wear it like this. Maybe we won't wrap it. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Put my foot in my mouth because, okay, I could see myself wearing this like this. It's kind of cute. Maybe I need to. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out because this is really, really warm. I'm just not a scarf around the neck girl, but I do love it. I am really happy to have knitted. It was very nice, and it really is a good stash buster. Overall, I really do like the Sophie scarf, and yeah, now that I've made one, I know kind of what to do moving forward. So yeah, that is that, and I think that actually concludes all of the finished objects that I will be showing you guys today. Yeah, so the next thing that we're going to go into would be our whips, our works in progress. So I actually don't have a lot of works in progresses, which is actually really, really good because I kind of unintentionally cleared my needles, which is great for me because I do have some plans for the new year, and it's great that I don't have a lot of projects that I need to finish up. So the very first thing that I'll show you guys is just my oldest whip, which actually isn't that old at all. This whip is from October, November, and it is it is a Ingrid sweater. Here's my little Ingrid. And if you guys are saying, huh, that looks a little small, your observation would be correct. It is small because it's not for me. Although low key, if you stretch it, it could be, right? No. This is actually for my son. I had mentioned him in my previous podcast, but for those who don't know, those who are new, I do have a 5-year-old who just turned 5 last month, and he is getting a sweater. I had originally started to knit this for his school pictures because I thought that it would be really cute to, you know, every single year knit him a sweater. And I had casted this on not knowing when picture day would be. I knew that it was going to be soon. I just didn't know when. And I completed like half the sweater by the time I like learned when it was. It was like a week from the day that I started this. I mean, it was a week from when I made it halfway to the halfway point. So I was like, okay, I made it like halfway, and I had knit on it for about a week. So I was like, okay, I did like half in a week, I can do the other half, and it's gonna fly by because all I have is like the sleeves and stuff to do, and the sleeves are smaller and whatever. And here we are at the end of December with nothing. So the body is bound off. I did an Italian bind off for that. And I did start one sleeve, but I ran out of yarn. And, well, I didn't run out of yarn yet. I hit this massive yarn tangle, and so I decided to take a break from this because I didn't want to detangle this all. But I am almost out of yarn. Like, I'm not going to be able to make the second sleeve. So I ended up putting this on pause because I was thinking if I have to buy another ball of yarn anyway, I low-key don't want to waste my time to unravel this, I would just buy the other ball of yarn, finish the sleeve, create the other sleeve out of it. And yeah. And by the way, this whole entire sweater so far is just 2 balls of yarn. And before I talk more, this is the Yarn-B yarn ID. And sorry, give me a second. This is the Yarn-B yarn ID in the color Oats. And this is the same color that I used for my cozy cotton hoodie, test knit for KnitsByAutumn a couple months ago. And this is 80% acrylic, 20% polyamide. And I didn't want to knit with anything too crazy because he is a 5-year-old, and you know, I know that he's probably gonna eat or play or be rolling around and all this extra stuff. And I didn't want to have something that I couldn't wash, especially because of how light of a color this is. And I didn't want to go like a full white, you know. So this is more like a OD tan cream color, and I think that it will look good on him. And it's funny because when he tried it on a couple months ago, after I had just got done with the body, I hadn't even picked up for the arm yet, and I had him try it on, and it was like too big, and I felt a little bit discouraged. And maybe that's another reason why I haven't picked it up, is I felt so bad because I was like, man, how is this still kind of big on him? Like, I wanted him to grow into it, obviously, and be able to wear it for, you know, at least, you know, maybe 2 years. Fingers crossed, I don't know. But it was like way big, and I was like, oof, I don't know. But now that it's been a couple months, and he's hit another growth spurt, I feel like it's gonna be hitting right on target to what I needed to hit on. So I just need to go ahead and finish this. But I haven't been to the store to get the yarn. Where I was staying at previously was on a completely different side of town. I had stayed over there for about 3 months while I was like trying to transition into a new place back on the side of town that I've lived on since I've been here in Florida. So now that I'm back on the side of town, I have all my yarn shops around me and things like that. So, and by the way, I only bought this from Hobby Lobby. So it's not like they didn't have a Hobby Lobby over there, but they didn't have the particular yarn that I wanted, and I couldn't see myself driving 35 minutes one way to go and shop and then drive like another 35 minutes just for one ball of yarn. And I wasn't in any rush because I missed the deadline for school pictures, you know? So I was like, when it gets done, it gets done, you know? So now that I'm back on the side of town, it would be nice to go and get another ball of yarn and get this finishing off the needles. And maybe I will do that sometime in January. Not this month. This month is almost over, and this is not a priority right now. So yeah, this is the Ingrid sweater. Junior. Ingrid sweater Junior. And yeah, and I do have both the junior pattern as well as the adult pattern because my idea was for us to have matching Ingrids. I also want us to have matching Mobies, but you know, one step at a time. So yeah, that's also another reason why I wanted to test out this yarn, because low-key, if it works for him, it'll work for me, you know? So yeah, if I end up liking the way his comes out and the way his wears, then I may be making myself one in the same yarn. So yeah, that is the Ingrid. And I think I made this in size 4 to 5 year, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is my Ingrid sweater. Hopefully all of that made sense. I guess I'll figure out when editing if that made sense or not. But yeah, that is my Ingrid sweater Junior. My second longest whip, which isn't a long whip at all, is this pair of socks, which I started maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And I am knitting them on 9-inch circulars, as you guys can see. And I'm at I've done my heel flap, gusset, and I'm on my like, I mean, what is sock construction? I did my heel flap and my heel turn, and I'm working on my gusset. If I know the construction of a sock, I think that's right. I'm still not a professional at this, y'all. I don't really be knowing. But yeah, and I wanted this to be a shorty sock because I haven't made a shorty sock before, so I decided that I would try it out. And this particular yarn, give me 1 second. I have to look it up because I do have the tag somewhere, but yeah, this. Okay, so this yarn is Drops Flora in the color number 20, and the color name is called Peach Pink. I bought a million skeins of these because I was gonna make like a finger weight ribbed top, with it, and I never did that. So I have like 15 balls of Drops Flora in this color. So I figured I would make some socks with at least 1 ball of it. And I don't believe that this is, I buy all my Drops yarn from Wool Warehouse, and when I looked at Wool Warehouse to get the color number instead of the color name, they didn't have it on the website anymore. I did Google it, and they do have it online available, just not at Wool Warehouse. So I don't know if it's discontinued or if Wool Warehouse just out of stock. But I did also see that they have a very similar color, just in a different color number, color name. It was called like Strawberry Pink or something like that. So I don't know if they take away yarns and then bring them back on different colors or different names. I'm not 100% sure. But they do have a similar color on there if you guys are interested. But yeah, this is just a regular plain sock. I got to my I got to the point where I'm doing my decreases, and I haven't really picked them up yet, but I will soon because I do want to have another pair of socks, and I would like to have some shorty socks to see how I like those. So yeah, that is my very first work in progress that I have going on right now. There's that. And the very last work in progress that I have, and I'm actually about to get cut off again, so give me 1 second. Okay, I reached my record limit again. Sorry, I was like all up in y'all's grill, huh? So the very last work in progress that I have, I'm like looking around just to make sure that I don't have any other works in progress. But no, my very last work in progress that I have is this. And you guys are probably looking like, huh, we've seen that color before. And you would be right. This is, again, Drops Nepal in the color Goldenrod. So when I originally applied for the Chestnut for the Everyday Henley for the Goldenrod, I was going to make the extra large because I wanted it to be oversized. Once I got to the pattern and I was doing the pattern, I reached out to Autumn to let her know, well actually to ask her, because I don't even think I remembered what size I was doing. So I asked her like, hey, what size am I doing, large or extra large? Because my bust measurement was exactly the measurement called for the large. But I remember I was like, I want it extra oversized. So I had decided that I was going to do the extra large. So I reached out to her though to ask her because I couldn't remember which one I had decided to do, large or extra large, when I applied. And she reached back out and said, oh, you put in for the extra large. but do whichever one fits you the best. And I said, okay, great, thanks. So in my head, I thought, well, since I told her I would do the extra large, I'm gonna just do the extra large. But I did keep in mind like my sizing. So when I got to the point in the pattern where I was finished with my increases for the size large, I did put it on cords and tried it on to see the fit of it and see like if it was indeed like fitting good or if it was gonna be better for me to continue on to the extra large. And I had decided then that I really liked the fit of the large, so I ended up just doing the large instead of the extra large. Because I did the large instead of the extra large, at the time of me getting accepted to the test knit, for me applying to the test knit, I went ahead and ordered my yarn. Like even though she hadn't approved or accepted me in the test knit, as soon as I applied for it, I just wanted to order my yarn because I said one way or another, whether I test knit this or not, when this pattern comes out, or if I take like I'm gonna knit it. So I ended up ordering 18 balls of yarn with the expectation of doing an extra large. 18 balls of yarn of the drops Nepal. And then I thought, well, I don't want to just have a bright yellow sweater. I also want to have some accessories. So I was like, I can do like a hat. I can potentially make a scarf, some mittens, I don't know, but I wanted some accessories to go with it, at least a hat at the very least. So I ordered an additional, oh, you know what? I think I ordered 20 balls in mine for the extra large, and I ordered 5 extra balls of yarn for whatever accessory that I wanted to make. I figured I would probably make myself a hat, maybe make my 5-year-old a hat, you know what I mean, with the extra 5 balls of yarn. In the end, doing the large, I actually ended up only using about 13 balls of yarn. Yes, it was 13 balls of yarn. So in total, I had 12 balls of drops Nepal left, which is essentially an entire sweater's quantity. And so I was like, what am I gonna do with 12 balls of yarn? So I did a lot of research, and no sweater that I wanted would be, I didn't have enough yarn. I was gonna have to order more. So I had this vision of like having a yellow turtleneck. Hold on, my battery's about to die. Okay, sorry about that. My camera battery was about to die, so I just switched that out. But what was I saying? So yeah, I had a vision for I wanted a yellow turtleneck sweater, and I was looking at a whole bunch of patterns, and I was trying to find one that I could meet gauge and meet yarn requirements, and there was absolutely no yarn. Like I was like just sure where I would need like 1 or 2, maybe 3 more balls of yarn. And I was like, man, like I can't see myself making a whole wool warehouse border for like 1 or 2 or even 3 little balls of yarn, right? And I also didn't want to make a full big purchase from Wool Warehouse. So I was like thinking. And finally I was like, well, you know, a cropped turtleneck would be cute. So then I kind of was like, okay, cool, I can do like a cropped turtleneck and be fine. So that was my plan of what I was going to do. So I ended up just choosing the pattern that I liked the fit of the most, and then I just figured I would just crop it. So that turned out to be the, what is this? The Chestnut sweater by Petiteknit. And as you guys can see, this is the collar, by the way. It's a really big thing. And yeah, she had hers folded in. And it looks really weird and stiff. So I can't wait to see how it blocks out. But yeah, this is her. This is her. And I knew that I was gonna be playing yarn chicken with this. So what I ended up doing, and I'm making a size large, by the way, in this pattern. So what I ended up doing was casting on, knitting the front and the back, whatever, joining in the round, and then after I joined in the round, let me see, where are you? Where are you? So after I joined in the round, I just finished off that the ball of yarn that I was working on. So I did about, I don't know, about 10 rows in the round. Finished off that ball of yarn, and then I immediately started on the collar. So I knit the collar to pattern, and then now I am working on sleeve number 1. And then after I get done with sleeve number 1, I'll go on sleeve number 2, and then with whatever yarn I have left, I will do the body. So I'm gonna try this on. I don't have it on try-on cords, I just have my needles in. But I tried it on last night, and I was able to get it on and off with no problem. So have to be very careful that I don't pop my stitch markers off. Be careful I don't pop my needle stoppers off, because that would be tragic. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. And then very, very carefully. Okay. So sorry guys. I don't know if you guys, can you focus please? Okay, so this is the sweater, and yeah, it's I don't really know how to show you guys the back, because you know. But yeah, and I have about to my elbow on the sleeve so far, so I would say I'm about halfway done with the sleeve. But I really wanted a yellow drop shoulder knit sweater, and I really like it. I really love how it's coming out so far. The only thing that I'm not really particular on is the collar, because I feel like I have a very small neck, as you guys can see, and there's just so much room in this collar. Like, someone else could fit in this collar, you know what I mean? Like, there is room in this collar. The second one, and again, we did the collar in 3mm needles, and the body is knit in a 4mm. So I don't know, like, it is very, very tight, as you guys can see. But I don't know, it's really stiff. Like, it's very stiff. So whenever I fold it down the way Petiteknit has it in her photos, mine just kind of sits. And I know that once, sorry, let me just tuck this hair really quickly. I look crazy, but yeah, mine just kind of sits very stiffly, and I do know that once I block it, it will relax and it'll, you know, have some drape to it. But also, I just really feel like maybe this, I don't know why I feel like it's just way too big. I just think it's too big. I don't know if I like it's given neck brace and not turtleneck. And so I'm not a big fan of the neck brace look. And you know, I've tried to like fold it different ways and try to finagle it last night to see how I would like wear it or if I would like it, and I couldn't really figure out a way. I do kind of, well, I don't really, yeah, I don't really know like how to wear this collar or what I'm going to do with this collar. So one of my plans, one of my options would be just for me to frog the neck completely and reknit it, pick up less stitches so that it's not as thick, because not as wide, because I do like a tighter turtleneck. Some people don't like tight turtlenecks because it feels like they're choking them. For me, I don't like a turtleneck that's too loose, because I don't know, I feel like my head's floating in there. So I'm not 100% sure. I think my plan would probably be for me to block it first. So I'm gonna finish the sweater, block it, and then once I decide that it is just not gonna work, then I'll go through and frog it. And I have no problem frogging it, but I do want to see how it blocks out first before I take a step that may be unnecessary. Sometimes you have to trust the process. So sorry, I have yarn tangled up on my foot. But yeah, sometimes you gotta trust the process. So that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, overall it is so pretty and bright, and I just feel like it looks really good on my skin. I really like to knit the yellow with the blue nails. Like, it just is a whole vibe when I'm knitting with it, and I really do like it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the chestnut. This is my main project that I'm working on. And when did I start this? I think I started this a week ago. So we're about 1 week in, and so far so good. Of those 12 balls that I started with, I only have 5 left, including the ball that I'm working on. So as of now, I'm like looking at my yarning and estimating, but I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna need about 2 balls per arm. So I'm gonna have 2 balls, and I'll probably only have like one more ball of the Nepal left. So I think what I'm gonna have to end up doing anyway, because even though I said that I wanted a cropped sweater, I did not want it this cropped. It doesn't even come underneath my bust. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is finish up my sleeves, knit all the way till I run out of yarn, and I am going to make another drops order from a warehouse. I am gonna order some more drops, Nepal and the color goldenrod. And the really good thing about goldenrod, or at least at the time that I bought this, and I bought this like 3 months ago, is that it was not a very popular color. I just don't think people saw the vision, because look at, like, how can you say you don't want this color? Like, what? So cute. But they had like over 1,000 balls in stock. I'm pretty sure, like, they had a lot in stock. So I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get the same dye lot. So I'm not really worried about like dye lots or anything, but yeah, I'm going to end up ordering more balls of drops Nepal. Once I get to the end of all my balls of yarn and I see where I'm at on the body, I can decide how many balls of yarn I need to order in addition. And I've decided that if I'm going to order more balls to complete the bust, I might as well just order more balls to complete the entire body. So I'm gonna have a completed chestnut sweater, which I think I will probably get more wearability out of, which is better for me than if I was to have left it cropped. Like say if I was able to get it to like belly button length or whatever. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, this is, like I said, my main project. I will work on this until all of the balls are complete, and then I'll make my order. So in that time, I'll probably work on finishing those other whips while I wait for that drop yarn to come in to finish this. But yeah, that is, oof, yeah. So that is that. And that is it for all of my works in progress. As far as acquisitions go, I did have a couple different acquisitions. Some of the yarns that I knit with were new acquisitions. Some of the tools that I use, for example, my 9-inch circulars, those are also an acquisition. So I'm not really gonna like go into too much because I don't really have anything to show you. The only thing that like notably that I brought on camera to show you guys is just a Teague needle, which I actually just ordered from Amazon. This is just another Teague 9-inch circular, and I already have one. I already have one, so I just bought a second one because in case I wanted to either do 2 socks at a time, which would maybe be an option for me to just do both socks at once, or like at least start them and work on them, whatever. Or for me to make a different pair of socks, because sometimes I get like the urge to cast on, like when I was making these socks, I had the urge to cast on another pair of socks, but I didn't want to take off socks off of the needle, or I didn't want to you know, not have a needle to cast on the second sock of the one that I originally started. So if I want to, I can do the second one of these socks, or I can have one pair of socks on one needle, and I can do a different pair of socks with a different color, different yarn with this needle. So I just bought another 9-inch circular needle, and that's pretty much it for that. Today is, what is that? Wow, today is December 23rd, so we're T-minus 2 days till Christmas, and we are look at that. Excuse me, wrapping back up in my bun. I was like, what is that sticking out? So yeah, we're almost to the end of the year, and I actually don't want to have huge plans for myself this year. I think that I want to really enjoy my knits. I do have a couple, I don't have any solid patterns I want to knit plans, other than I do want to do cami number 9. That's definitely getting knit this year, as well as a couple techniques I want to learn. I really want to, one, lean more into continental knitting. I did learn, I'm an English style knitter, by the way, that's how I learned. I do know how to continental knit, like in the round, so sometimes when I'm in the round, I knit my sleeves and the body of my everyday Henley was knit continentally. Yeah, so I do know how to knit continental. I don't know how to continental purl yet. So all of my purls, whenever I'm doing like working flat, I still do knit English style. And I actually have knit English style this entire chestnut sweater. But I do want to learn more and like just practice more with continental knitting. I don't think I'll ever like fully switch. I think that when I get like a little bit of risk fatigue doing English style, it's nice to be able to switch it up to continental and vice versa. So and also color work and things like that. I heard it's really good to know both. So yeah, I do want to lean a little bit more into continental knitting and just exploring that and getting a little bit better at that. I don't think that I will fully switch to continental. At least there's no plans right now to fully switch to continental, but I don't know. I'm not a future teller. What are they called? Psychic? I'm not a psychic, so I don't know what the future holds for me, but I do want to lean more into that. I definitely want to lean more into texture this year. The Ingrid was a great intro into that, and very, very simple, so I would love to get into a little bit more texture, potentially some lace, you know, some lace, maybe lace on socks, maybe not like a huge, big, whole lace cardigan, but like a lace on sock, something really tiny, small that I don't have a lot to do with, or even potentially like chunky dahlia. It has just like a lace at the top, and it's also a chunky needle, so it might be easier for me to do versus like finicky little tiny lace. I don't know, but yeah, so a little bit more texture this year, a little bit more intricate like lace maybe, and then continental knitting is definitely like a big focus on me. As far as like production wise, I would love to have a bigger sock collection. I'm ending off this year with 3.25 on now, 3.25 pairs of socks. I would love to maybe hopefully be able to start a sock box next year. Ever since I seen Lisa, is it Lisa's Knit Club? Oh gosh, oh bless her name. She had like a box she keeps her socks in, and I've been obsessed. So I would love to get to the point where I can have my own knit sock box. And yeah, so adding, you know, a couple more pairs of socks would be great this year. And yeah, just make some things that I really, really love that I really will be wearing for the next few years. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching if you watched this far. Sorry that I was a little bit frazzled or a little bit unorganized or maybe not explaining things the best way. I am rusty at this. I'm not really experienced. I guess I should say rusty isn't a good word because I made one video, right? So I'm not really experienced with this. I'm hoping that I can do a lot better with my production. If you guys have any like tips or tricks or anything that you guys think would be helpful when I'm talking about my projects, that would be great. I don't know when the next time I will be coming to you guys for a video, a podcast. As of now, I am planning on seeing you guys in about 2 weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks. But to be safe, we're just gonna say we'll see you in a month from now. So at the end of January, you guys should be seeing me again. But if I pop in before then you know, good on me. But yeah, that's pretty, dropping yarn. That's pretty much all that I have for you guys. I'm super excited to be in a new space. I'm super excited to start this new era of knitting. I do work from home now, so I no longer go out the house to do all my work and stuff. So I feel like I would have a lot more time to be able to knit, because while I'm like on the computer doing work and things like that, I can get a couple rows in. So I'm excited to see what this new chapter holds. I'm excited to see what this new year brings for knitting, because I feel like my first year of knitting was like me like not really picking it up, and then now this year is me actually like deciding to get serious with it. But yeah, I feel like it will be nice for us to kind of see how our knitting evolves this upcoming year. If you guys have anything that you guys want to know, any things you guys need more details on, let me know in the section below. If you do like this video and you want to see more from me, definitely subscribe. It would really make me feel good. And you guys can also follow me on Instagram, which I will put here and also put down in the description box below. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. I've rambled now for an hour and a half, so rest in peace editing Shania, okay? But yeah, I'm excited to come back to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.